Hey guys, welcome back to the Ohio Podcast Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, the delicious Nicolicious. We're doing something new this week.
We are?
We're naked.
Oh, okay.
For YouTube. We got a YouTube camera set up. So we're going to try and I'm going to try and line the audio up with the camera audio. Delete the camera audio so they get our sweet podcast audio.
Okay.
And then launch it on YouTube.
Well, good luck.
And fortunately for us, we got some really cheap beer on hand for this episode.
Kept cold in your freezer.
Our first entry into the YouTube world. We're drinking Miller
shit beer.
That's all right.
Hey, what can you do? We can't be winners every day.
It's -4 degrees here in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah,
we're
it's
freezing
rough.
our nuts off. Let me tell you something, Rob. I had a really shitty fucking week this week. Should I go through it for him real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Friday, I had to leave work because my blood pressure was 230 over 130.
You're pretty much dead.
The doctor said, "You're having a stroke." I said, "No, I'm not. Stroke my dick, motherfucker. I'm fine. Let me go home and have a goddamn cigarette." So I go to the hospital. They tell me, "Hey, are you on blood pressure medicine?" I said, "I got some."
Do I have some or am I taking some?
I don't take it,
Yeah.
but I got some. Not for sale. It is not for sale. They said, "Well, here's your options. Take it or die." And I'm like, "Oh, I'll start taking that shit." She's like, "How long you been out?" I'm like, "I'm not out. I just don't take it." Flash forward. So I left work early that day.
Mm-hmm.
That night, my wife comes and wakes me up, and she says, "The baby has vomited everywhere.
Yeah.
All over our brand new couch. There's just fucking puke everywhere." She doesn't really do vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't bother me. I'll chew on it. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either.
All right. So I clean it up, go back to bed. The next day, come home from work. My wife's taking a bath or something, and I come downstairs to switch the laundry here in the Brohio studios.
Yep.
Hear water pouring from the fucking ceiling.
Oh, no.
I'm like, that sounds a little weird. I don't think that's necessarily supposed to sound like that.
Definitely not.
So then I go over there underneath the bathtub. It's a 2-story house. And the pipe that goes up into the bathtub has disconnected from the bathtub.
Oh, shit.
So all the water in the shower is just going through the fucking tub down to the basement floor, covering everything over there.
Is that what that foam was in the
No,
tub?
it gets better.
Okay, I was going to say I saw all that in there.
So we got the sick kid. We got the water. It ruined the drywall over there.
Yeah.
Flash forward to this morning.
Uh-huh.
My 9-year-old daughter wakes up and she says, "I'm really hot. I have to change my pants." As soon as she wakes up, I'm like, "Oh, she's pissed herself." And I said, "Did you piss your pants?" She said, "No, I'm just really hot." And I said, "All right, go switch your pants then. Whatever."
Right.
I get hot. Maybe it's something to do with me.
I sweat really bad when I
My
sleep.
bitches get real fucking hot all the time. Got to take them off, shake them off.
Yeah. I'm like a furnace when I sleep, so.
So then she comes back, and then my wife comes up. She's getting ready to leave for work. And my wife says, something's wrong with the car. The radiator's completely frozen solid. Solid block of ice.
Oops.
Car, it's negative. The wind chill is -20.
Yeah, it was like -20 this morning.
The car will barely start. There's ice in all the lines.
It's your vents are just shooting out ice cubes.
At this point, I'm just like, I'm ready to kill myself.
Right.
So then she gets a ride to work. I'm out working on the car. I come inside and I plop down where the kid was sleeping. Couch cushions completely saturated in piss. So much pee. The pee went through the cushions, through the bottom of the couch, and were pooled on the floor on the hardwood.
I don't even piss that much. It's like a drunken horse.
What the fuck did you drink? What happened in your life that made you want to do this to me? She's like, I was hot in my pants. I was just a 9-year-old answer. I wasn't mad at her. Because she didn't do it on purpose. She didn't like stand up and like pull up her, her little nightgown and piss all over my couch.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'm angry. I'm upset. So I'm just sitting there contemplating killing myself. Then my dog walks up. My 10-year-old dog, Bruce. There's no way to explain Bruce. He's just
he's a good old man.
There's a such thing as an autistic dog. He's an autistic dog. Brilliant mind. But then he walks up and he just like looks at me, and then he just starts fucking peeing on the floor right in the middle of the never pees in the house. Just starts peeing in the middle of the living room floor. I'm like, God, son of a God. So
poor guy.
That's been my week this week.
The dog, not you.
Right.
He's senile. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Speaking of the dogs, I know sometimes we like to hop on the show and we propose weird questions to our listeners. Like, for instance, we ask if your balls ever sit in the water when you take a shit.
Right.
Lots of people wrote and they said, yeah, dude, my balls hit the water all the time.
Must be nice.
Man, that's a big old set of nuts you got on you. So all this week, the dog, Bruce, he keeps on walking up and he just sits his dick and balls on my foot. Like, I'll have my foot out. Propped up, and he'll just walk up and, like, sit his dick and balls, like bare dick and balls right on my foot, and just, like, look back over his shoulder at me, like, you're not when I put my nuts on your foot. And my wife's like, that's super fucking weird. So naturally, I stop jerking off, and I tell the dog, like, get off my foot so we cannot do this anymore. So I'm asking the people, if you have a dog that just likes to walk up and set his nuts and his penis on your foot, write us, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. If your dog does something super weird, I want to hear about it. I want to hear something like, my dog licks his ass and drags it across. That's not weird.
Yeah.
All dogs do that, bruh.
I'd say I had a friend whose girlfriend's dog, anytime they were doing it, the dog would come up and lick his balls from behind.
He didn't stop. Oh, yeah, that feels kind of good.
He said it happened like 2 or 3 times.
Can't stop, won't stop.
It's like, fuck, after the first time, you're like, keep that dog out. You count that as a threesome?
I don't know.
I would.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's try. Let's get it on real quick.
Why not?
I'd like to say thank you to our new Patreon subscribers, starting off with Mr. John Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Keep it simple, stupid. Mr. John Brown, thank you so much for your generous patron pledge.
Yeah, thank you. Next, we got Joel Benzie.
Thank you, Miss Benzie. Next is Chris. It's just Chris.
I like it.
I think it might have came across as Chris Martinez. He might not have wanted me to use his last name.
Well,
but there it goes. Because Chris, I promise. There's a lot of Chris Martinez.
Very
Martinez
common name.
in the United States of America.
Last but not least, Davis Finley.
That's a cool fucking name.
That
man.
is a cool name.
That sounds like a professional wrestler name.
It's 2 last names for. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Davis Finley does sound like
Davis Finley.
Or like Finn Davis. That sounds like a wrestler's name too. Like just backwards.
I was watching Finn Balor before you got here. Man, is that guy cut up. All right, so sometimes we like to hold a second. Before we get ahead of ourselves, I got the notes all backwards here this week.
Okay, yeah.
First off, we got a live show, Brohio Podcast, Hillbilly Horror Stories, and We Drink and We Know at Khalil's. 10966 Dixie Highway, Louisville, Kentucky. This is going to be Saturday, April 6th, 2 to 6 p.m. Tickets for that are $17. If you hop on the Waverly Hills Sanatorium website, you can pick up the tickets for the tour afterwards, and you can take a tour of Waverly Hills Sanatorium with us. You want to buy the tickets for the 8 o'clock tour on Saturday, April 6th, and you can take the tour with us.
That's a nice one. Next up, we have a next. Let's see. This is June 22nd. So this is a little bit down the road. It's us, Hillbilly Horror Stories, and Mysterious Circumstance. Justin Rimmel there. That's all 3 of us. $15 tickets. This is in Indianapolis.
Cheap,
yeah, Indianapolis. Scotty's Brew House.
60
seats. Get them.
June 22nd. And then next we have October 5th in West Virginia, home of the Mothman. This is going to be at Caitlin's Lighthouse Pub and Grill, 64 White Ridge Road, Point Pleasant. 3 great shows for only $15. That's History Goes Bump. Fantastic spoopy show. Hillbilly Horror Stories. And your favorite Ohio podcast.
That sounds like a fun place. I'm excited to go there.
It's West Virginia. You know, we're like, hey, you're my cousin? No, man, I ain't your fucking cousin. Well, I ain't gonna fuck you. I'm like, well, that's fine, man. I got my other cousin here fucking. You ain't gonna fuck me.
You can't have a lighthouse in your name and not have a cool place.
Yeah, and I'll put a toy lighthouse on my butt one time. All right, now for the article this week. This one is about a quadriplegic fulfilling his lifelong dream of making porn.
Hey, can't knock him.
Oh.
Let him do it, man.
Oh, someone else is knocking him. You don't have to, Rob. Dreams really do come true, even for quadriplegics who want to make gay porn.
Okay.
That is at least the case for Kenneth Conan, 27, who lost the use of his legs and the feeling in his arms from the biceps down when he suffered a spinal cord injury at 18 years old while competitive cheerleading, according to Gay Star News.
Gay Star News?
But the injury didn't stop Conan, who says he always wanted to have sex on the internet.
Okay.
From filming his first gay porn scene with Pierce Paris, a veteran of the industry for porn studio hemorrhoids.
Pierce is a perfect gay
I would
porn
not
star's
have
first
sex
name.
with a man named Pierce. Jesus Christ. Quote, just because I'm injured and I have certain limitations, it doesn't mean that I don't still enjoy pleasure. And I don't still enjoy touch, Conan told Davey Wavy in a YouTube interview.
Davey Wavy?
You want to see my Davey Dangle Wavy Davey real quick?
What is going on?
Wavy created Hemeros in January 2018. Outside of my wheelchair, I'm just like everybody else. Conan could not be happier with how things turned out in the scene in which he performed oral sex on Paris.
Okay.
Oh, God, you're so fucking tight. That's not my butthole. You got your wiener stuck in my wheelchair brake. You ever put your wiener in a wheelchair brake before?
No, I have not.
Have you ever dreamed about having sex with a gay quadriplegic before?
No.
You're not fucking going anywhere, are you? I'm gonna come in your butt. You can't do nothing about it. It was totally what I wanted, quote. What I expected was to feel a little more awkward and a little more out of place, but everyone here has done a great job at making sure I feel just like anyone else. The 27-year-old went on to explain why he didn't use a pseudonym for his debut. I want everybody to see me sucking that dick. I'm proud of what I'm doing and who I am, and I think everyone else should be too.
I guess that's a good.
That's beautiful words right there. I hope that people understand from watching my scene that it's okay to have sex whether you're disabled or whether you're not disabled. I want able-bodied people to know that just because someone has a disability, that doesn't mean they no longer have a sex life. Followers and fans of Conan on social media have praised his bravery and honesty. Quote, it's really amazing, and it's people like you who are forgiving pathways of sexual liberation for the rest of us. You're incredible, one person wrote on Conan's Instagram page. Quote, I just watched your interview on YouTube about the scene. Hell yeah! I love the way you're continuing the conversation around the stigma. Go you, another said.
Okay.
You fixing to hold real still while I break that butt pussy in half. You feel me, dog? Old Pierce, your fucking guts, whatever his name is.
Worst hand job ever. He used to just grab his arm and just...
Your wheelchair battery just shocked me on the nuts.
At least he's
So
trying.
hot.
At least he's trying.
You ever watch quadriplegic porn, though?
No, I have not.
Fuck with me right now. You're such a fucking liar, dude.
No. I mean, I've never...
What if one day, and like you committed a crime, like you got drunk and ran a kid over or something,
right?
Or ran over a pack of sheep, fucking killed them all. They said you're going to jail for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we're going to throw out the jail sentence if you will release your browser history from the past 10 years. Even your incognito browser. Name and picture with the browsing history.
I'm doing hard time, man.
Oh, jeez, man. I think I would be like, fuck it, show it to him. Show it to him. There's nothing I've jerked off to that I wouldn't try in real life.
I think I'd give it up. 10 years is a long
I
fucking
bet you
time.
would give it up.
I'd give it up. One way or the other, I'm giving it up.
That's the nastiest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Ooh.
Oh, so this is
what are we talking about this episode?
aliens. Just kidding.
We're past due.
We're talking about a murderer. There's been a murder.
A murder.
We're talking about Christopher Lee Watts, the father and husband from Frederick, Colorado. He was in the news recently. The cool thing about this episode, when we normally cover stuff, whether it be true crime, paranormal, aliens, whatever it is, it's something that's happened a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
This happened less than 6 months ago.
Brand new.
I think so. Less than 6 months ago. And this was a very publicized crime.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everyone knows what he did. Maybe you don't know what he did.
If you follow the true crime community, you know the gist of the story.
Yeah. So we're going to take a drink of beer.
Clean it up, man. All the way down.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to drink all of it?
Fuck it. They're like 0.2% alcohol, so you might as well.
We're not going to burp in the microphone because that's unprofessional.
Yep.
I pulled away.
So did I.
Okay.
Catch your breath from that
It's
one.
Miller Lite. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. I think this is what it feels like to drink water at a frat house.
Yeah, I would agree.
Tastes like a frat house smells. I know that.
Very true.
But this, like we said, this is a super publicized crime.
There's a lot on this.
Oh, yeah, man.
There is a lot on this.
This thing gave me fucking fits for days. I didn't know
Yeah.
where to start. I didn't know where to make the middle. And I didn't know where to circle around to the end as far as the research.
Yeah, we talked about this at the beginning whenever we first started throwing around the idea that you have the original body cam from the officers that were responding to the call. That entire body cam footage is available. His entire interrogation video is online.
Hours and hours,
Hours. There's a lot of stuff.
So this is we're covering Christopher Watts and his wife, Shan'ann Watts. It's spelled Shanann.
It's not Shannon, it's Shanann.
And I really went out of my way to make sure that it was pronounced Shanann.
Yeah.
Not Shannon. Not Cheyenne. Not Cheyenne. Shan'ann. Her maiden name was King, I'm sorry. And they met during a period of, Shan'ann would call it a very dark time in her life. Shan'ann had just discovered that she had lupus. I don't know what lupus is, Rob. I read that it's an inflammation of the skin. It sounds like something...
That's where you can only eat Fruit Loops.
Sign me up. I thought it's when your dick looks like a banana.
Okay.
I got lupus. You want to see? See how it loops up? Call it lupus. Now, she was... I guess she was receiving recommended. So there's this thing that's been happening to me recently on Facebook, where I'll get a friend request, but it's not a friend request that someone has sent. It's so and so has recommended a friend for you.
Oh yeah.
Or so and so was at the same place you were for like an event or something. Like if I go to your kid's birthday party,
right,
I'm gonna get a friend request from Facebook from someone there that I don't fucking like. Guarantee it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that there's gonna be anyone there I don't like, but that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
I've been getting friend requests from people that, I keep my Facebook tight.
Same.
So,
I'm not ever on it, but
I get on mine a lot, but I keep it mostly for people that I interact with on a weekly basis, people I see in person, because it's better that way. So people don't know a lot about you that they don't need to know. So when they see you at the supermarket, they're like, oh man, how's that new fucking Mustang? You're just like, I didn't buy a fucking Mustang, dude. Like, oh, I must have been the other guy posting workout selfies. No workout selfies on the Delicious Nickalicious Facebook page.
Got to work out for that.
Yeah. I work on fitness. Fitness dick in your ass. You feel me, dog?
I feel it. I feel it.
Oh, I feel it. I don't feel it. That's the problem. I don't feel it, but
How many times have I told you?
I feel pleasure. Now, she discarded these request a few times, and finally she received an actual friend request from Christopher. She said, what the hell, I'm never gonna meet this guy. Well, she did fucking meet him one day.
Yes, she did.
And if you refer back to our Weiss Markets murder, there was a lot of media that we inserted into that one, a lot of first-hand accounts from the people involved in it. This is kind of be the same way.
Yeah, it's great having these modern issues here.
She was on the fucking Facebook all goddamn day. That was her job. So
good for her.
This first video is her kind of explaining her story of how her and Christopher met.
Awesome.
Where to turn. And at the same time, my friend, a mutual friend of mine, sent me a friend request about 8 months prior for Chris, my husband. And I deleted it. I had no interest in dating anyone. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. I was working. I was goal-oriented. I was a dreamer. I have always been a dreamer. I've always wanted everything in life to be perfect. So anyway, fast forward, in a dark place, all of a sudden I get a friend request from Chris. I said, what the heck? I'll never meet him. He's just a Facebook friend. I have a million of them. Nothing's going to come of it. Well, 2 weeks later, we finally meet on a blind date. From there, I couldn't get rid of him. I tried. He wouldn't go away. He was stuck. I drug him to a colonoscopy. I drug him to rheumatology appointment after rheumatology appointment. I drug him to my spinal tap, which was awful. a student did it, which I'm all for people learning, but not when it comes to a spinal tap. So that was really rough, and ended up falling in love with him. And so why I bring that up is
So how bad would you feel in hindsight if you were that friend? I hate to make
I
that.
thought you were about to say something else. Like,
No.
how awful would you feel if you went with someone to a colonoscopy and they fucking just pooped everywhere?
No, I was going to say the friend that was trying to get her to date him in the
Oh
first
yeah, I'm
place.
sure that person feels like shit. But
yeah.
one thing about these two, I think our camera just overheated and turned off.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, well.
We're gonna have to remedy that somehow. I don't know how, but so one thing I don't understand. They didn't really have friends. They had friends, but there wasn't when his best friend speaks on the internets, does the articles, they're like, how often do you and Chris speak? He's like, once every, I don't know, couple times a year. I knew who his kids were. I'm just like, what the
Yeah.
I met his kids. I met his fucking kids one time. His kids are fucking assholes. He didn't say that. But usually a best friend, like I see your kids all the time. You see my kid, you just saw my fucking kids. You walk past one in the stairwell. She said, "Hey, Rob." It's just not it's a weird dynamic for me that they don't have any friends. They were kind of I don't want to say they were recluses, but
They just kept it themselves.
They
They weren't social.
I don't even know if it was that. There's just such a weird, like I said, a weird dynamic going on here. Now, there's very little in terms... I'm sorry. They got married on November 3rd, 2012. There's very little in terms of the period between when they got married and when the fucking horrid act happened. So from 2012 to August of 2018... there's very little, very, very little. There is some substance there, right, towards the end, obviously, but there's just nothing in that.
Yeah, the dynamic obviously changes.
I'd fucking say so.
I mean, it's a big right turn.
Now, Shannann's family spoke very highly of Chris and how he was supportive with her battle with lupus. Now, she would sit down and eat 15, 16 bowls of Fruit Loops, and her family was... I just don't know what lupus is. Inflammation of the skin is what I think. It's not Fruit Loops. So they said he was very supportive of her battle with lupus. He said that he would sit and she would put her head in his lap and he would just sit there and hold her, because I guess one of the parts about lupus is it's hard to get comfortable. It's hard to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Can't stop thinking about Fruit Loops, can you?
That's all I'm thinking of. I wasn't expecting that. It was just that just threw me for.
Aren't you smoking a Fruit Loop vape?
Berry.
Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ.
It's Berry Blast. Don't.
So he said that she would put her head in his lap and he would sit there. He would sacrifice not going to the bathroom. He would sacrifice not doing it. He would sit there and hold her, because as hard as it was to get comfortable, he would endure it. And they thought the world of Chris, that he was so supportive about this. But then there was kind of a mixed bag with some of the other friends. They said, hey, he was kind of a recluse. He was kind of a dickhead sometimes. He just didn't seem like he was completely into her for whatever reason. Which that fucking sucks. You know, anytime you marry someone and they don't love you. But he in the very beginning, he absolutely might have loved her.
Yeah, people fall out of love. It happens. People change.
People change. Isn't that a hard word to hear?
Yeah.
You ever get that talk in high school when a girl broke up with you? Just like, people change. Well, you've been dating the same girl since you were 7, but
it's not you, it's me. Like, no.
One of my favorite lines to tell my wife now is I'll like stare at her and she'll just be like, what's wrong? I'm like, I love you, but I'm also in love with you. You know, like in high school, you'd be like,
yeah,
I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I just stare and I'm like, I love you, but I'm also in love with you, if that makes sense. She's like,
you get what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down?
She's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, show me them titties. Let me see them moon balloons, baby girl. Whip them out. Put them nipples on my head. Because, man, do I love titties.
Woo, thank you. Amen.
Love them. I don't care that ass caves in like fucking Hank Hill. You got some dongles hanging from your chest. Speaking my language, Kate Upton. Feel me?
Good old memories.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like memories.
I've never forgotten a titty, I tell you that much.
No, I don't. I think I actually have. There's been a couple that I needed to, but... now, Shan'ann and Chris, they did move at some point. I don't have the exact date. From North Carolina to Frederick, Colorado, where pretty much their life would... it would come to... What's that called? I don't even know what word I'm looking for right there. Yeah. I just completely fucking forgot.
I can't read your mind.
Now, part of their development as a happy family, they had 2 little girls not long after getting married. At the time of the incident in question, their first daughter, Bella, she was 4 years old, and their youngest daughter, Celeste, was 3 years old. Now, we also, in 2015, they were going through some severe financial issues.
That's stressful.
And the way that it's portrayed in the media, Chris was completely cognizant of the fact that they are having severe financial issues. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, they filed bankruptcy.
Okay.
But she just kept on like, we'll buy this, we'll buy that, we'll spend on this, we'll spend on that, we won't save here, we won't save there, fuck it, we'll spend the money. That's the kind of the thing. I'm not saying that's how it was, that's just kind of how I read it to go down. Now I'm gonna play another clip here for you. This is in reference to, so she was part of a pyramid scheme company called Lavelle, or as I like to call it, Level. But it's pronounced Lavelle, and they sell these patches. Oh God, what are these fucking patches called? I can't. Thrive.
Okay.
You put these patches on you like you're trying to quit fucking smoking. Yeah. And apparently it's supposed to be like shoving a stick of dynamite right up your fucking asshole. Whether that's the case, I don't know, Rob.
Why not?
I'm not really sure. Yep. But in all these videos, Shan'ann, she's got fucking stickers on her forehead, her arms, her hands, her chest, her neck. She's got these patches all over. And the day in question where she's missing, her best friend, Nicole, she's on the body cam. She got fucking stickers all over her too. So this Thrive stuff, another one of those pyramid scheme bullshit things like, oh my God, hop on my fucking team. But I'm speaking about their financial issues and their bankruptcy and all that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip for you right quick of her speaking about, I guess,
the hard times.
Not even the hard times. They're going through what they're going through, a bankruptcy, no money.
Right.
And this is the video that she puts up.
Okay.
Hey everybody. Oh my God. That's all I could say.
I feel you.
Absolutely, positively, an incredible call tonight with Lavelle.
Lavelle,
I don't
Level.
even know where to begin, to be quite honest with you. But all I know is what's in this box has a lot to do with what was on this call tonight. And if you guys have been sitting around watching me talk about Lavelle and Thrive and about how amazing it is, if you guys are ready to join my bandwagon and seriously feel absolutely incredible.
This is the same stuff that I see on my Facebook all the time.
But have time
it just
freedom,
completely invigorates me to a point of fucking
family,
rage, okay?
Incredible.
All
absolutely,
respect to the dead.
Positively incredible. Yes. So what I have here is a bunch of DFTs, but these, you guys, are the best DFTs that I've seen by far that Lavelle has offered so far. I'm still in shock with the call we just had. Like, absolutely, completely in shock. I'm in shock for my team. I think this is going to be an amazing, amazing...
So she goes on to speak about this $200,000 bonus. This $50,000 bonus. How the company's made $200,000 in charitable donations to the American Research for Dogs Putting Their Sack and Dick on Your Feet. Quadriplegic Porners Anonymous, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to join our closed group, Butt Chuggers Anonymous, the password is Bill Wilkins. can't fucking stand this pyramid scheme stuff, Rob.
Yeah.
It is fucking tough on a man for a wife who does this stuff. It's tough on a wife whose man does this kind of stuff. You show me someone whose fucking life has changed from selling a goddamn body wrap.
Have you heard about that crazy wrap thing?
I have. It's where I lie on my back and I let my wife wrap her lips around my wiener. That's the wrap thing I'm talking about.
Wrap them thighs around my head, baby.
Yeah. Hey, you send me that Hershey's wrapper. Put a piece of chocolate in my mouth. That's the wrapper I'm talking about.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Reese's cup wrapper. And these fucking people get completely brainwashed with this stuff. And it's so problematic when you're trying to be friends with someone. You're like, hey, how are the kids? I heard your kid had strep throat last week. How's your kid doing? Oh, he's fine. How about buying a weight loss shake? And they just completely... So at this time that she's making this video, they're drowning in debt. Their finances are fucked up. They're filing for bankruptcy. But these pyramid schemes, they fucking lie to these people. Will boldface lie to you and tell you, oh, I got a $2,000 bonus. I got a $50,000 bonus. Well, if you get this, say you worked for, this body wrap company, you score the $50,000 bonus. You think, all right, this person's getting a check for $50,000 deposited into their fucking bank account. No, that's not how it works. That person gets the $50,000 bonus. That means every month when they get paid, it's fucking subsidized. It's broken up. It's like an annuity. So it's like a 30 years stretched out. You keep your levels at where they're supposed to be. You keep 100 distributors. You keep 100 people under you selling body wraps. Then that's the level you have to, 100 people. So then for 30 years,
it's like a mortgage.
$50,000 broken up over 30 years, you will get that bonus every, so whatever, I don't know the exact change, $400, $500 a month.
Like $3.22 a month.
But the second you don't have 100 distributors anymore, they're fucking you. It's gone. No more money. It's gone. So I wanted to touch on that, how upset this, not only the pyramid scheme, it upsets me, but she left a significant digital footprint for all this stuff. There is mountains and mountains and mountains of videos of her like, oh, hey, guys, I love Chris. She probably did love her husband, and I understand that she was just trying to do what was best for her family.
Yeah.
But there's a facade there for me, for people trying to push these things.
Yeah, not only that, but then if you don't meet your numbers, they're continuing to send you product that you still have to sell. Yeah. So then you get backed up.
Only $50.
You have more product, you have more stuff you got to get rid of.
So awesome.
And it's like you're swimming in water that you're wearing fucking a 45-pound plate on your leg while you're trying to tread water.
So what I'm trying to get to here is there was a bit of a facade. People on the outside, they're like, oh, they're just a happy, perfect American couple. No, there was significant financial issues. And there's a lot of people that listen to us that have never had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. There's a lot of people that listen to us that have never been married. But for those of you that have been in a serious relationship or have been married, the one thing that's more stressful than your spouse fucking someone else or not switching the laundry over is finances.
Yeah.
And finances will completely fuck you up. You will point the finger at the other person and blame them for all the financial issues when, in all actuality, you go back and look, you're like, God damn, I ate $20 fucking worth of Burger King yesterday.
I've been there. And another thing is that I'll tell you that learning about someone's relationship through Facebook is very, very misleading. They're going to make their relationship seem way better on social media than it really is.
I just can't.
The people that push relationships like that usually have the worst relationships.
The absolute worst. You're like, you read them and you're like, I can't sleep because I can't stop staring at him. He's so perfect.
You don't know that, but she's texting that, but on the other hand, she has a knife.
Yeah.
Last week, I caught him on Snapchat sending pictures of him shaving his fucking balls to all the bitches.
So, in my mind, going through this research, there's something hidden behind the wall of, oh, we love each other so much. He was on the lives a little bit. Not much. But there was ultimately, it's her doing these videos for this Thrive stuff, these stickers you can put all over your body and become fucking Superman. But she would just talk about how happy she was and how perfect he was. But through my deep, deep digging, and also, I'm sorry, to circle back for their finances, he was just a mechanic for an oil company. She did quit her job full-time. She quit her full-time job to sell the Lavelle products.
Whew.
Yeah. Lavelle seems like the name of the guy at work. There's always like a guy that can fucking do everything. Like he can fix the AC unit on the roof, or he can help uninstall a toilet, or he knows where payroll is from 2002. Like,
Right.
Where's that box from? Just ask Lavelle. Lavelle will know. There's like the guy that, he knows where all the forklift manuals are at and shit. That's Lavelle.
That makes sense.
Everyone has a fucking Lavelle, okay?
Very true.
Now, he was a mechanic for an oil field company, Chris was. Best guesses were he was probably making around $60K a year. I don't know what the cost of living is in Frederick, Colorado. $60,000 is a livable wage, but not in a $400,000 house like they were living in. And I don't actually, I was listening to a video right before you got here. The house might not have been in their name. It might have been in her dad's name, because the cop that's trying to get into the house when she's missing, he's like,
Yeah.
they're like, the woman that's there, she says, let me call her dad. And the cop's like, well, I can't go in the house unless the homeowner says it's okay. And she's like, well, they're not the homeowners, or something along those lines.
I remember that.
Through my very deep, deep digging and through my stellar research, I did find out that she was indeed married before she was married to Christopher. And a lot of places don't mention that. There was a gentleman named Leonard, or Leonard, as I like to call him.
Leonard.
He was they were high school sweethearts, and he said that she went through a lot of jobs, and it wasn't a great 2 years being married to her. She would not engage him in conversations. She would stay gone all night after work, and he was also an attorney. So here's the deathly cocktail right here. She's staying out all night. He's an attorney. They're both just fucking dumping cum into other people besides one another.
Yeah. They just grew apart. Exactly.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I want to stop briefly to talk about... I'm not going to talk about that, because we already talked about that.
Okay.
The facade that people put up on social medias. We touched on that. On June 11th, the Watts announced to the world, Shan'ann and Christopher, that it was time for another baby. Shan'ann was pregnant with a baby boy. So they had 2 little girls. It was time for a little boy. So I have the clip here of Shan'ann announcing to Chris, giving him the pregnancy test. Not a lot right here, but we'll play it for you.
Damn dog.
Jesus Christ. Oh, it is a dog.
We did it again.
She's showing
I like that shirt.
She's showing the pregnancy test right here.
Okay.
Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know.
The
Just a
pregnancy test doesn't
That's
tell
awesome.
you. Dog was fucking getting it in right
He
there.
was fucking doing laps.
So that was them finding out.
Oh.
I don't know what that was. That was them announcing. Well, they did put that on Facebook. That was her giving him the pregnancy test. We're pregnant. We're having another baby.
Does the pink mean it's a girl?
Yeah.
Like, no, that means I pissed on it.
Is that how those things work? How hard is that, dude? Like, to be a woman and to piss on one of those?
Especially when you can't aim. I mean, it'd be easy for us.
I know there's some real trampers listening to this show that have to pee on one of those weekly, because we got some real wild women in the group.
Yeah, we do.
But I'm like a sniper assassin with my urine.
Oh yeah.
I can hit a mustard bottle in the kitchen from the bathroom. That's
You aim for the urinal holes like while you're pissing, like and try to make sure it stays in that one hole.
so.
I do
Here's
that all
this.
the time too.
I like to talk about all the dumb shit we do.
Yeah.
Because my wife would be like, "What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "You don't want to fucking know." When I pee, I pretend I'm a Ghostbuster with a fucking proton pack. It gets better. Hold on a second.
All right.
And when you pee in the toilet, it makes bubbles.
Yeah, yeah.
The bubbles are the ghosts, and you have to hit them with the proton pack stream to make them go away.
See, I'm a little like more old fashioned. I just piss and try to keep pissing so I can fill the entire surface with bubbles.
Okay.
So I just try to make the whole thing bubbles.
Gotta keep going.
Push it harder, push it harder.
Sometimes I like to hire teenage girls and piss on them too.
Okay.
I
R.
want
Kelly.
to piss on you. This R. Kelly stuff is. That R. Kelly stuff's wild right now, man.
Yeah.
He's been all over social media and stuff since this came out, and he's had a real pissy attitude about everything.
Yes. Oh, shit.
I want to piss on you. What a piece of fucking garbage.
You know he tried to go after Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't fuck with my guy, Dave.
I know. Such a nice guy.
This point in the relationship where they announced that they're having another baby, this is kind of where things took a wild turn for the worse in this relationship.
They were already fucking broke. I mean, that's going to add so much more stress.
You can be broke, but still be in love, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
There's that term, we always got each other. And I like to think that's how my wife and I are. We've been broke, we've been on top of the hog, we've been under the fucking hog getting shit on, but we've always had one another. At the end of the night, we always have one another, you know? And that's the best thing that I can fucking hair floating around. That's the best piece of advice that I can give to any new couples out there. Just, you know, confide in one another. Be honest, be forthcoming.
Life is hard.
Do 69.
Yeah.
Do a lot of 69. Because guys love 69ing. And me and Rob love scissoring.
Yeah, we do.
Just do it. Like Nike, man.
You'll forget about bills when you're 69. Trust me.
Right. Now, just 3 days later, on June 14th, so they announced their pregnancy on June 11th. On June 14th is the day that Christopher Watts entered the phone number of co-worker Nicole Kessinger into his phone.
Ow, ow!
So what's going on here? We got some good old-fashioned butt-smacking, ball-flapping, doing the do. That's never confirmed that they were butt-fucking each other. But during her interviews by police, Kessinger said that she and Chris started seriously dating one another. That's right. Christopher started having an affair on his wife, the Thrive consultant, Shan'ann. He started having an affair with Nicole Kessinger. And I'm going to refer to her as Kessinger for the rest of this episode because there's another Nicole.
All right.
Nicole is Shannon's best friend.
Okay.
So it'll get quite confusing there. So Kessinger is the mistress. During her interviews, Kessinger stated that Chris told her sometime before Father's Day, which normally Father's Day is somewhere around June 20th, somewhere around there, I do believe.
Sure.
That he was indeed married with kids, but he was in the process of separating. On Father's Day, Shan'ann posted a tribute to Chris on her Facebook. So he's actively having an affair. I maybe not yet. He's starting to kind of chit-chat with this girl from work. And it did start off kind of slow from what she says, but Shan'ann on Father's Day, she said on her Facebook, quote, "Chris, we are so incredibly blessed to have you," she wrote. And this is according to the Huffington Post. "You do so much every day for us and take such great care of us. You were the reason I was brave enough to agree to number 3. And a lot of people said that he was on top of the housework. He was on top of the dishes. And during the walkthroughs, the body cam of the incident, that motherfucking house is clean as a pin, Jack. So
yeah,
someone was doing a good job keeping up on that house. And a lot of people that were close to them and had a relationship said that he was on it. He was a super, super dad, super, super husband. Some women, they would be like, fucking cheat on me if you promise to do the dishes and laundry every day for the rest of eternity. I don't care who you fuck in the mouth. Just do it. Or you got guys like me, like, baby, I ain't gonna cheat on you and I ain't doing the dishes either. I'll take some nachos, though, if you want to make me some of those. Give me a diet.
If you're going that way.
Yeah, give me a Diet Pepsi. Give me a goddamn Diet Pepsi. Now, as of June 19th, there wasn't any turmoil in the eyes of Shan'ann. She posted an ultrasound pic and said that she couldn't ask for a better daddy for her and her kids. And as you remember, the mistress stated that their relationship really took off at the end of June. Well, this fucking lines up perfectly, because on June 27th, Shan'ann and the girls went on vacation to North Carolina for 5 weeks.
Ooh, that's a good vacation.
While Chris stayed back and worked.
Of course he did.
Worked on Kessinger's pussy is what he did. God damn, motherfucker.
Hey,
God
hey.
damn, motherfucker. For those of you that are married out there, you don't leave your spouse alone for 5 weeks.
5 weeks, that's a long
A
time.
deployment or something along completely cool. We fucking love and honor those that listen to us, that serve, that do the stuff that me and Rob aren't fucking brave enough to do. But if you're just leaving your spouse for 5 weeks, like, peace the fuck out, you stay back and work while I go on vacation. Your spouse is going to find something else to do. Guarantee it. Whether it's get a dick suck on Craigslist, little casual encounters, baseball cards. I'm calling about the baseball cards you have for sale. I showed up for some fucking baseball cards, and this guy started sucking my dick. Felt real good. It calmed in his mouth. Then he followed me to the door, or a wheelchair ramp out front. Apparently, he's quadriplegic. He filmed it. I'm on movies now. Got this guy in a goddamn wheelchair doing burnouts, sucking my dick. I didn't know he's doing burnouts. I would really like to suck your dick. This is my Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking.
Okay. Beautiful mind. Beautiful, beautiful mind.
Definitely.
Fucked up spine, beautiful mind. Anyways. Oh, man. So sifting through mountains of evidence, I was able to connect the dots that Kessinger did go to Christopher's house on the 4th of July. She told investigators that she went to the house on the 4th of July that morning, and that morning and afternoon, this was to set up his diet and weight loss / exercise goals.
Yeah, a lot of fucking, that's what it was.
Motherfucker was chopped up. Like, he was about that's all he wanted to do was run and work out. He was a pretty put together guy. Fucking horrible human being, fantastic biceps. Definitely getting fucked in the ass right now, though.
Jack City.
He invited her inside. He cooked her lunch. They ate, and she left. That's what she says.
What did he eat?
She leaves out the part where he ate her ass.
There you go. Thank you.
Because kids these days, that's what they fucking do, Rob.
Yep.
They bend over at the waist, and they lick each other's butts.
Hey.
If you do that, write us an email, brohilepodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you're into eating ass, smoking grass.
I'll write you here in a few minutes.
Stacking cash. What I'm fucking doing. You already know, bruh. Oh, man. But, Rob, according to the text messages in the evidence in the discovery from the trial, their correspondence was at 11 p.m. at night. That's 11 p.m. at night. She says in the fucking text that I read, she says, I'm out front at 11 o'clock at night. I'm making lunch and doing exercise goals with you in the morning, though, so that's a bold-faced lie to me. Not that this is some total ground-shattering shit right here, but I firmly believe that this stinky cunt had a hand in the fate of Chris's wife, and I'll get there a little later on.
Okay.
Almost all their text messages between one another were deleted on both ends. So he deleted his text messages to cover up his affair, obviously. And why did she delete her text messages? That's another place we will get here in just a moment.
It's a noodle scratcher.
He had a work phone and he had a personal phone, and he deleted all the shit from both of them. And the texts there were some text messages that were recovered during the investigation, but they were spotty. There were huge gaps where you can tell huge parts of conversations were left out. And it's where they're just they were deleting messages. Fucking sneaky ass shit. On July 10th, there was a text transcription that I recovered And this was between Chris and Shan'ann. Shan'ann asked Watts. She says, "You okay? It's like you don't want to talk. I kept trying to talk, and I had to dig it out of you." Watts replied, "I'm fine, baby. The last few days of work have put a lot of responsibility on me with new people. I didn't mean to seem short, boo. I love you to the moon and back. Hearts and smileys." Shan'ann responded, "I miss you, and I feel like you just want to work out and run." Not me, baby girl. Watts claimed running helps clear my mind, and it's a way to free it all. Shan'ann didn't buy the excuse. She says, "I wish my husband wanted to talk to me."
That's sad.
Yes, and she was buying self-help books, and she knew that there was trouble in the waters, and the relationship needed some help.
Mm-hmm.
But he was having no part of it. He obviously had engaged in an affair, and she kind of knew something was on the horizon. Something had gone awry. But I think right now would be a fantastic spot to stop and have a quick message from our new sponsors at Blue Chew.
All right, well, this is a big day because we picked up our first real sponsor. So, you remember back in the day, you were a little bit younger, and if that thing downstairs got harder, he was literally ready to go the second you were.
Oh my God, Robert. Tell me more. Put it on me.
Well, now you can revisit those days with our friends at Blue Chew.
Now, our friends at Blue Chew will give you that extra you need to take her to the top of Space Mountain, and that extra shot of confidence when she thinks you can't go any further, and it's time to help her come down the mountain.
Blue Chew, just like the color blue, has the same FDA-approved active ingredients that are used in Cialis and Viagra, all in a chewable blue pill.
The great part about them being chewable, you can take them anytime, day or night, hungry or full. You'll be ready to go in half the time as a regular pill.
And Nick, tell them that this isn't just for the guys having problems getting their soldier to stand at attention.
Blue Chew isn't just for guys that have small issues getting it up or suffering from dysfunction. It's for any guy that wants that extra boost to be the king of the castle and the sultan of the sheets.
And let me just say that I tried Blue Chew the other night, and I left her knees a-knocking, the bed a-rocking, and her mom downstairs a-talking. My wife raved that it was, that I was different. I was like a possessed man.
Listen up, fellas. Blue Chew comes to your door in a discreet package from a location in the United States. It's prescribed online, so no awkward in-person doctor visits. They take out all of the legwork and the embarrassment, and since it's made in the U.S., they can demolish the competitors' prices.
So you guys have to go try this stuff. You can be a superhero in the bedroom, just like Nick and I.
Oh, yeah, free. Free. That's right. Get your first shipment of Blue Chew free. Yes, that's free using the promo code BROHIO. That's BROHIO. BROHIO. You cover the $5 shipping charge, and your package will be rock hard.
Yeah.
And your Blue Chew will be shipped as well.
So go to bluechew.com. That's BLUECHEW.com and use the promo code BROHIO to try it for free.
And thanks to Blue Chew for the partnership we've created with them, and thanks to them for sponsoring the BROHIO podcast.
Yeah.
Blue Chew. That was a fun little ad spot, right?
I know, I like that. That was good.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
That wasn't fucking fake. You guys go check them out.
Do it.
Do it for us.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, on July 14th, Shan'ann was still on vacation with the girls.
Kicking it.
They are kicking it. But on July 14th, Chris and Kissinger, they went on another date. They went to a vintage car museum. Because there's nothing that gets the fucking chicks hotter than a vintage car museum.
Right.
And this girl, Kissinger, she's a fucking weirdo, dude. I listened to the 2-hour police interrogation today, every second of it.
Yeah.
Fucking nut job, okay? Just so far out there, not only did she seem weird to me, but she seemed like an evil, conniving, misleading, fucking filthy gash. There's something there, man.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, yeah. Now, during this vintage car date, Shan'ann made 4 unanswered calls to her husband that day. All during this time, the betrayal by Kessinger to the police was their relationship wasn't that serious. At this age, she was in her 20s, I do believe. He's in his 30s. People don't hang out as a couple just to go to a vintage car museum.
Yeah, they're bumping uglies.
Some fucking ball slapping butt cheeks, if you know what I mean, Rob Dog.
Right.
That stuff doesn't happen for free.
You know what happened in that vintage car and on the Titanic?
I have no idea.
That?
Oh yeah, the handprint.
The handprint.
Jeez, man. I think Mom probably covered my eyes during that scene. So they had an app that they used between one another. It was a secret app called the Secret Calculator. And they were sending nudes back and forth. Once she was getting dressed up in kinky lingerie and getting naked for him, and they were sending pictures back and forth. And they would store them in this app called the Secret Calculator. And it looks like a calculator app. And then when you open it, it's a fucking calculator. But you can select a mathematic formula. You input this formula, and then when you input the correct formula, it unlocks so you can be, pi times the square root of fucking 500. That's your equation.
Huh.
And then when you hit the equal sign, it unlocks all of your stored nudes. That's how it works. And that's what they were using to hide the pictures. Well, this is what he was using to hide the pictures from his wife. So we might have unleashed fucking Pandora's box.
I was
going to
say
guys out there.
Woo.
So ladies, go through his phone, open it up. If he's got 2 calculators, he is giving the knuckle fuck to somebody else. He is getting the stinky pinkies, getting down, doing the dirty, getting.
Try to think of his favorite math equation.
Yeah.
Is he a 1 + 1 guy, or is he
right? If I had a secret calculator, my wife would be like, "This is easy, 69." She just type in 69, and it's a bunch
80085.
It's a bunch of anime. It would be videos of me and her. You like that? Me commentating. This is the part where I held my breath to see how long I could do it with my breath held before I would pass out. And this is where I came. This is the part where I cummed, and she asked me if I cummed already, and I said no. And then I just kept on smashing her with a floppy. That ever happened to you before, Rob Dog?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, did you come? And you're like,
no.
No, I'm good. But for the next few minutes, you're just going to feel my pelvis. You're not going to feel a shaft. You're not going to feel the head of my penis. You're just going to feel my bare pelvis beating up against your waist. That's because I did come. I can't help it, man. I like the way it's all slippery and warm. It feels so good. What do you want me to do, man?
How can you expect you not to?
And the worst thing you can do as a woman is to look us in the eyes with your boobies flopping around, hot saying our name, and tell us to hold on. Just like,
there's a point of no return. I mean,
keep going.
Once you go so far, you can either keep fucking or you can just stop, but you're still going to come. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's mathematically proven that once you get past a certain point, it'll go by itself.
Yeah.
Like, it'll just go off. And then it's the worst orgasm ever. So if it's
really
going,
is.
I'm going with it, motherfucker. I'm going with it.
Don't expect me to stop. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. Listen, I'll make you a deal. I'm going to keep going. And then I'm going to come. And then I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to take a nap and wake up. We're going to do it again. You ever make that promise to her? Just give me 20 minutes and I'll be back. 20 minutes later, you're fucking
4 hours later, you're just fucking dead. She's poking you, like, leave me alone.
She's like, you better put on your fucking CPAP machine since you fucked me and fell asleep without it on.
You ever been fucked with a man in a CPAP mask before? If you've ever had sex with a CPAP machine on before, write us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Let us know how it was, if you got better oxygen flow to your head, if it worked out a little better for you, how things went.
That's pretty interesting. I like to know.
It is. Let us know. Now, Christopher Lee Watts, he was sending dick pics to this girl. Pictures of his penis.
Oh, that's right. That's what we were talking about.
Something that some guys out there, they've just got penises too small to do that. Some guys, working with a lot, they don't make cameras big enough to take pictures of their wieners. I don't know what Chris Watts was working with. I have no idea. was serious enough that they... So during the interrogations, she's talking about how not serious this relationship was between them. It was serious enough that they went on a camping trip together at the end of July while Shan'ann was still on vacation. So if I'm taking someone camping, I'm fucking him in the tent. And one joke my dad always used to tell my friends growing up, he'd say, "All right, guys, gather around here." And he would do this to one specific friend named Christopher all the time. And he'd say, If you come out of the woods with a 12-inch condom hanging from your ass, would you tell anyone?" And Chris is like, "No, I don't think so." And my dad looks him right in the eye and says, "Well, hey, you want to go camping?" You dirty son of a bitch. So he's saying that he would take him camping and fuck him in the ass with a condom on. Who has sex with a condom anymore? Pull out. I can't even pull out of a fucking driveway, dude. What the? Pull out. Blow it on my stomach.
Oh, man, it's good.
Oh, my wife's fixed. Yours isn't. So
No.
you're really sad right now.
Hey, birth control's a thing, though.
It does. Yeah. Yeah, right. Pull and pray.
No, I don't even do that.
I'm going to blow in your butt. No, you're fucking not. How that works. So fucking off the fucking path.
Pray
right
to
now.
the birth control gods.
Oh, God. So, in other words, you don't just go camping with anyone, especially my father.
Right.
Chris Watts would eventually go join his family on vacation in North Carolina. July 30th, he headed to North Carolina, but not before leaving a love letter for Kessinger. He
Aw.
left all kinds of stupid fucking song lyrics on this card.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
On the card it says, "When I'm around you, I can feel peace in the atmosphere."
Lame.
What fucking lame-o wrote those lyrics?
Right.
I'll write you a song real quick. And he also wrote her a letter inside of the card here, and I'm going to try and read the. Can you read that? The note itself.
It says, "Nikki, wow, where do I even start? The first day I saw you, you took my breath away. The first day I had the guts to talk to you, I got lost in those stunning green eyes. The first day we hung out in the park together." This is getting worse. The handwriting is getting worse and worse as it goes down.
Yeah.
"The first day we hung out in the park together, I knew I was addicted. The first time we kissed, I knew I had met the most amazing, unique, and
Electric
woman ever. We have a lot of firsts together, Nikki, and I want you to keep having, or I want to keep having them with you. All night till the sun comes back." Is that right?
I fucking guess.
I want to
dude.
want to love you like that. What the fuck is that?
I can love you like that. I can hear you, my world.
Is that what it's from?
No, it's not. I
Okay.
like that song.
And then it says "Love, Chris."
Oh man,
God, that's corny as fuck. What a
that's a corny
cornball.
fucking song. It makes me like this all this week long. So I thought I beat it, but Frozen is back in my house. I have a 2-year-old now.
Oh,
She just
man.
turned 2. So Frozen is back. The window is open, so's that door. I think I shit myself and I'm a whore. I gotta listen to this fucking shit all day long.
I do love
back.
Kristen Bell though.
The fuck ever, dude. I'm tired of it. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
Now, August 4th at 12:45 a.m., Shan'ann Watts sends her husband a long text message accusing him of failing to stand up for her after his parents exposed their daughter Celeste to nuts.
Oh,
Tree nuts,
okay.
not man nuts.
Hey, come here. Look at your pappy's
You want to see your grandpa's dick nuts?
Dick nuts.
Have you here a look at grandpappy's dick nuts? I've been shaving my balls with my straight razor. Cut the dick off, but I still got these big old dick nuts. Did you ever see a World War II dick nuts, have you? She says in the text message, she said, "You can believe I've created this dagger, but I didn't do that. I stood up for our kids. I advocated and protected our children. I don't ever want to hear, 'I'm sorry I killed your kid because I was stupid.' That would kill me. These kids are my world, and I have to protect them from the evil of the world. I shouldn't have to protect them from evil family. Our kids deserve the same love and attention the other kids get, nothing less. I'm not accepting 'I'm sorry' from your mom because she doesn't mean it, and she knew what she was doing. I made it very clear not to eat it around Celeste. there was fucking nuts being eaten. Because she doesn't understand way before that happened. She's evil and willing to risk your daughter's life just to get under my skin. You and your dad are no different, and if your dad... sorry, she's just gets all fucking sideways right here. There's nothing wrong with me, and I'm not crazy. I just love my kids way too much. From the day I left, you never said I missed you before I said it. Something changed when I left. You may be happy or alone, and that's fine. You can be alone. This pregnancy, you have failed to acknowledge it or to acknowledge how I'm feeling. The first trimester is the scariest and most dangerous, yet we can lose this baby. I'm not going to be treated this way for having the balls to protect our family and kids. I should get a gold fucking medal for handling it the way I did because I have lots of choice words. So what's happened here is Chris's mom and dad gave the kids nuts.
I'm assuming they have a nut allergy.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people think that Shan'ann was a hypochondriac. So the lupus thing.
Yeah.
Lupus is lupus. I think that's, but she also had fibromyalgia.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go.
So
Let's open this door. Fuck it.
Fibromyalgia. Okay. Some people, 1 in 4 doctors agree that fibromyalgia is completely fucking made up. But for the people that actually suffer from fibromyalgia, they're like, not made up. I have it. It fucking hurts.
Yeah. Just like a lot of people will say, and I'm sorry for saying this, Moo, but that gluten allergies are fake.
Gluten allergies. Every time I eat it, pains in my butthole swells up. That's just irritable fucking bowel.
Irritable bowel and indigestion.
What about the kids when we were younger that ate gluten? They're fine now, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
Food changes, I get that though. So
food changes, the world changes, but this fibromyalgia, a lot of people chalk that up to being a hypochondriac's way of actually. So a doctor's
justifying,
like a doctor's like, oh, you're sick, and the person's like, I'm real fucking sick. It hurts every day, and the doctor's like, what hurts? And the person's like, it just fucking hurts, man. And the doctor says, well, you've got fibromyalgia. It's. For me, I don't have it. So for me to say, I can't give an assessment on AIDS or cancer because, knock on wood, I hope I don't fucking have cancer, but I don't have fucking AIDS. I hope I don't have AIDS either, but I don't know what those things are like to experience them. So it's not easy for me to say, why are you like that? Why are you not? Where's your energy? So for someone that has fibromyalgia, they say, it's a fucking tough road, Nick. Well, it might be, but it's the only disease in the entire fucking world that 1 in 4 doctors say, yeah, that's not real. I'm assuming, I guess it is real. I'm not trying to knock anyone that has it. I know there's people out there that have it that are hurting, but then there's a lot of people that are using it as a crutch.
It could be an overdiagnosis of it.
I was talking to my wife about it. She works in the medical field, and I said, what's fibromyalgia? She's like, it's a nerve condition. People process pain in different ways. And I said, okay, do you know anyone that has it? And I'm thinking, she's about to tell me, no, I don't know anyone. She says, yeah, I do. And she said the person's name, the biggest fucking Looney Tune that we know.
Of course.
Just a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, well, that makes sense. And I,
of course.
And I kept on watching Jeopardy.
Like how that explains a lot.
So they think that the kids didn't actually have a tree nut allergy because in one of the Thrive videos, she shoves a lemon meringue Thrive bar down the kid's throat that's allergic to the tree nuts. The Reddit community got one of these bars and looked at the active ingredients on the back of it. Fucking tree nuts.
Of course.
The kid didn't die. Nothing happened. So a lot of people speculate that she would use these... I guess the allergies and the illnesses, whatever, as certain power over Chris. That's what the people speculate.
Gotcha.
For me to say that, I wouldn't say that because she might have actually been hurting. She might have had a doctor say, hey, the kid's allergic to nuts, but don't give the kid nuts. It's hard for us to speculate, but that's what everyone else is speculating. And I hate to cast the doubt over someone that's passed away, but we like to cover all the corners here, not leave any stones unturned. Now, August 4th, Shan'ann Watts appeared to have a fight with her in-laws, which caused them to skip Celeste's birthday party that summer. She also tells her husband that she hasn't shown any signs of missing her in the weeks that they've been apart. That kind of goes hand in hand with that one that the text message that I just read, and Chris finally responds back, and he seems a little bit concerned about what his parents said, because I think she went off on one of them. That just, oh God, I feel for couples going through. It's always good to get along with your in-laws, but it sucks when you have shitty fucking in-laws. But it seems to be the general consensus that most people have shitty fucking in-laws. I don't. I enjoy my in-laws. But this past holiday season, we had a lot of people reach out to us like, oh my God, dude. Fucking mother-in-law try to suck my dick again. No, that didn't happen.
That really didn't happen.
Yeah, but
A lot of people hate them.
Hate their fucking in-laws.
Yeah, that's wild.
Now, while Chris is away, his mistress back in Colorado, she's doing internet searches, Google searches. My most favorite thing in the entire world is Google. The Google Home, the Google Pixel sitting right next to me. I love Google. Google. Stuck on this fucking Google right now.
Do it.
I'm gonna let you do it.
All right.
But she was doing a Google search of, but this wedding wasn't that serious. Or I'm sorry, this relationship wasn't this serious, according to her. She was doing internet searches for anal sex and wedding dresses.
Can you imagine if you just typed in anal sex into Google, what it would pull up? Just a big open asshole, dude.
I'm gonna try it right now.
All right.
I've got my fucking phone right here in front of me.
I guarantee you Pornhub's within the first two.
Anal sex. Anal sex or anal intercourse is generally the insertion and thrusting of the erect penis into a person's anus or anus and rectum for sexual pleasure. Other forms of anal sex include fingering, the use of sex toys for anal penetration, oral sex performed on the anus.
Oh.
Talk to me real quick. And pegging. What the fuck is pegging, Rob? Oh, that's where you put like a
That's when a girl has a strap on and fucks a guy in the ass.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Oh, baby girl, no, not that one.
Don't anal me, baby. Don't anal me.
Not Big Floppy. Put them back in the closet. Look, he stands up in the corner like a fucking baseball bat. You trying to put that motherfucker up in my butt?
I told my wife the other day, I said, put whatever you want in my butt. I don't care. Because whenever you pull it out, you're going to get covered in shit and you're never going to want to do it again. That's how we both learn a fucking lesson.
That was the time I had a taco in my ass.
You're going to... How you like funnel cakes? I just made a real homemade funnel cake. Chocolate funnel cake. That sounds delicious.
That really does.
Chocolate funnel cake?
Yeah.
I got a chocolate funnel cake for you.
Those are one of the things that, like, I love, and then like after like 6 bites, I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ,
Like,
my
this sucks.
fucking teeth hurt.
I know exactly.
I'm going to get an elephant ear. August 7th, Shan'ann Watts started confiding in friends about her problems with their husband. So, the facade that she put on Facebook, well, I shouldn't say it was a facade, because at the time, she probably thought they were doing okay. Turns out, he's a cheating piece of shit motherfucker.
He'd checked out.
Yeah, so this is a text, this is the screenshots from the iPhone going back and forth with her friend. I believe her name was Addie. I didn't write it down.
I'll be the friend.
All right. Chris told me last night he's scared to death about this third baby, and he's happy with just Bella and Celeste and doesn't want another baby.
He's just scared. Everything will be fun once the baby comes.
Addie. He's changed. I don't know who he is.
Fine, not fun. What do you mean?
He hasn't touched me all week, kissed me, talked to me except for when I'm trying to figure out what's wrong.
What? That doesn't sound like Chris. Did he go to the appointment?
Yes, but cold. Addie, I have no idea what happened.
Go through his phone, make sure there isn't some other bitch I have to kill.
This is total left field.
Oh, why no to counseling? Totally is out of left field.
Said he's not sitting on no damn couch saying what he just said to me to no stranger.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, so at this point, I don't know why I didn't put the screenshot on there, but she tried to fuck him and he wouldn't do it.
Oh.
Turned her down. It's a hard pass. Passing on the pussy tonight. One thing.
She said that it had been a whole week since they even touched. Yeah, that's.
Ooh. One thing the delicious Nicolicious has never turned down from his wife is a good old-fashioned piece of pussy. Ha ha ha! Ain't that right, Rob Dog?
Amen.
Oh. On August 9th, Shan'ann tells a friend that Chris Watts went to her ultrasound, but he was cold to her. So she decided to cancel the baby's gender reveal party. So things are fucking taking a turn for the worse right now. She knows things are bad. He refused to hold me. He's not there. He can't. And then a shrugging emoji. I haven't slept most of the week. My eyes burn from crying so much. I canceled gender reveal, Nikki. Sorry, I read that wrong. I canceled gender reveal. Nikki's going to kill me today. I need happy news right now. I said to him, how is this a few months? We were so intimate and what I thought in love when I left. He said he had a lot of time to think. This baby in my belly deserves his full love either way. I said, you sat there in this living room and said you think it would be a great thing to have another baby. We talked it out a lot beforehand and we agreed to do this. You were so excited and happy.
I think he will come to his senses and feel like an ass in a few months.
I grabbed his hand during the ultrasound and he didn't grab back. Sad emoji. I'm sorry, it's still me. I cringed. He rejected sex that night we arrived here. Only thing I can think of, even though I don't think he has it in him, is another girl. Well,
yeah, that would be there are definitely red flags there.
Yeah,
that'd be the first thing you would think of.
And I think she knows at this point because she was doing all the trying to get the self-help books together and stuff like that. August 9th, they presumably have made it back to Colorado by August 9th. She, at this point, confided in a friend on August 9th that they were making slight progress, that they had talked things out, and he kind of made her feel a little bit more comfortable about the relationship. But he was still slightly distant. I didn't put that screenshot in here because it was pretty fucking stupid, honestly. And also on August 9th, excuse me, Shan'ann Watts leaves for a quick business trip to Arizona. And by business trip, I mean she's going to Arizona to sell...
She's gonna sell some
patches,
some Band-Aids for Nelly. Is that what she's selling?
Yeah.
She's a supplier.
Yeah. Can't even do any fucking Nelly.
Underlay, mama, yeah.
We're going down, baby. Oh, don't break the microphone.
Punch my microphone.
You gotta keep that thing. And on the way there, she tells a friend that she had her best talk yet with Chris the night before. So I think there was definitely some sex involved.
So he touched her hand.
Yeah, definitely. There's a letter that she wrote. This is a prepared speech that she made for Christopher. I have it on my screen. There's no way I'm going to be able to read it. Absolutely no way.
Yeah, that's really. I'll do my best here. My dearest Chris, I don't know where to begin. I am so lost for words. I can't even explain how hard this pain is. The last 5 weeks have been the hardest. I missed everything about you. I missed your morning breath. That's disgusting. Your touch, your lips/kisses. I missed holding you. I missed smelling you in the sheets. That's okay. That is what it is. I miss smelling your naked body. I missed talking to you in person. I missed watching you laugh and play with the kids that I love so much about you, or that I love so much about you. I miss seeing you naked and on top of me making love to me.
That's hot right there.
OMG. I missed having you around when I felt alone and upset. I just flat out missed the hell out of you. We haven't been away from each other that long since 2012. I really don't know how we fell out of compatibility, or if that is someone else's words for the only thing that changed.
Right.
The only thing that changed this month was everything going down with your family. I can't change what happened, but I can try to work things out with you and with them. But there has to be a mutual respect for everyone. I definitely deserve an apology because of Celeste. I can suck up her going against everything I said to our kids, but our daughter's life...
And then, it stops there.
Yeah, I think there's another page, but we don't.
So that's a very, very, very faded handwritten letter that we just had to work our way through right there.
Yeah, it looked like it was taken on a 2005 Razor.
Yeah,
horrible picture.
Yeah. Right. On August 11th, now this, she was in Arizona at that time. But Chris, on August 11th, he hired a babysitter and tells his wife that he's going to a Rockies game. He actually took Kessinger on a date to the Lazy Dog Sports Bar.
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. August 12th, Shan'ann Watts sends a friend a draft of a speech she plans to give to her husband when she returns to Colorado the next day. So at this point, she's confiding in her friends a lot, and she keeps on preparing these speeches, handwritten speeches, that she's going to read to her husband. So let me tell you something, Rob.
She's prepping.
If I'm laying in bed with my feet kicked up, watching the ball game, scratching my nuts, drinking a beer,
Watching the Rockies.
and my wife walks in with a prepared fucking speech, hold on a second. Let me pause this motherfucker because it's about to go down. Oh, and you have a certain relationship with your spouse where if they stand in front of you with a prepared speech, you're just going to be like, get off the fucking stage, you son.
Boo.
That's how me and my wife are.
Boo.
She'd be like, what the fuck are you doing right now? I'm reading you a letter I wrote.
I wrote down my feelings.
Now on
She's be like, next stop being a fucking dick.
right, and in this letter, she sends the prepared speech to Addie. In the text message, or in the speech to Chris, she says, "Can you please tell me something? Because just like you, I'm in my head. And anytime your wife says I'm in my head right now, you gotta buckle the fuck up because it's about to go down. You got 6 seconds to hold on to that motherfucker before you get bucked off."
This is going to be a 3-hour-long conversation. So
I was like, usually, we're in our early 30s, so back whenever, I was in my 20s and stuff, it would always start off with, "I've been thinking." But now the kids these days, they say, "I'm really in my head right now." And when she says, "I'm really in my head right now," just fucking get under something heavy because there's a tornado coming through.
it's like
fucked up.
it's just like that. We need to talk. Or can I talk to you about something later?
Yeah.
You're just like, God damn it, what the fuck's going on?
And she just goes on in the speech to say how she needs his help so they can fix this together. She talks about Nico, which is the unborn son that they're having. On August 13th, the next day, Shan'ann returns from her trip from where she was in Arizona. She returns to Colorado. Surveillance footage shows Shan'ann returning home at 1:48 a.m. She texted him a whole bunch before that and said, "Hey, my flight's fucked up."
Yep.
And he didn't write back. So it's just all goes on top of the shit hill that this motherfucker is building and that poor Shannon's getting caught up in. At 5:27 a.m., just a little under 4 hours later, the same surveillance camera shows Christopher Watts backing his truck up to the garage and loading up some unknown items.
Yeah, and these surveillance cameras were the little ring, is that they're called? The ring doorbells.
Okay.
That, they just track motion, so you'll know if something's going on outside your house.
Okay. It was the neighbor's surveillance camera.
Yeah.
Now, he was loading up some things in the truck, which wasn't completely strange for him because oftentimes he would have to load the truck up anytime he would go to work in the morning. He was a mechanic, so there's a lot of stuff. I guess they're having problems with people breaking into shit in the neighborhood. This wasn't completely off kilter at this time.
Yeah.
Shan'ann was dropped off at home earlier that morning / night, 1:48 a.m. That's morning, by her friend and Thrive partner Nicole Atkinson. Later that day, Shan'ann had an OBGYN that she called no-show for. An OBGYN is a doctor that looks up inside your vagina. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I did, yeah.
Whenever I go to their offices, they have a goat, like a picture of a goat up on the fucking counter there. It's the most terrifying thing ever. That's where you go to get your pap smeared. And we had a lot of people reach out to us to tell us, like, "Hey, bro, there's a lot of different things they smear on that pap." So I've still not got a solid answer from anyone. If you know what they smear on you during a pap smear, let us know. Write us brohopodcast@gmail.com.
I hope it's grape jelly.
Let us know what they smear on you during a pap smear. Is it a platypus? What is it? Let us know.
One thing I will say too about the about the garage, the truck at the garage, the neighbor says that it isn't uncommon for him to load stuff into his truck, but that day he pulled, and I guess Chris Watts knew about the camera doorbell that he had. That day he pulled his truck halfway into the garage.
Oh, okay.
So that the front and the entire cab was in, but the bed of the truck was outside of the garage.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you couldn't actually see the cab, inside the cab. You can only see from the bed back.
What's fucked up is your neighbor knows that.
Yeah.
That means you got a nosy goddamn neighbor.
Yeah.
And you got to go over one night in the middle of the night and take his fucking trash cans and sling them across his fucking yard.
Yeah.
If the guy knows. But I'm a vigilant dude like that. When I leave for work in the wee hours of the morning, I take a look around the neighborhood, make sure there's nobody snooping around. I know who has their lights on. I know who doesn't have their lights on. You kind of, you're up at those hours, you learn those things. Now, one of my concerns here is her friend Nicole got concerned when she missed her OBGYN appointment. How does a friend know that?
Yeah, that's really weird.
When you go to a restaurant with women, they go to the bathroom and they piss on each other in the bathroom and they come back out and they're like, "Whoa, we peed on each other in the bathroom." I think that's what they do in there because they always go to the bathroom with one another. I think they're in there just pissing on each other. Has to be. But then is there like a sisterhood alarm thing that goes off when your friend misses an OBGYN appointment? I don't know. But at this time, Nicole knew that Shan'ann missed her OBGYN appointment.
Somebody would have had to have told her, or
maybe she could
have called, or maybe she worked there.
I don't know.
Who knows?
She also didn't return text messages to Nicole that day. At 12:10 p.m., Nicole Atkinson went to the Watts home to check on Shan'ann. There was no answer at the door. She told Chris, and she called the police. So she went over to check on her. She made contact with Chris to say, "Hey, she's gone. Something is fucked up." And I think she knew at this point that Chris told her that they had the emotional, I guess, talk that night before. When she got home from Arizona at 1:48 in the morning, they had a talk where Chris told her, "I want to separate. I don't want to be with you any longer." And he told Nicole about this when Nicole asked and said, "Where the fuck is she at?" And apparently he told Nicole that she said she was leaving to go on a play date
with one of her friends.
That morning. The surveillance footage never shows her leaving the house.
Right. The only vehicle you see leaving, because I don't think she had her own car. I think he had the truck, and I think that was it.
Yeah, they had a work truck and then like a family SUV.
Okay. And yeah, the only car that left that morning was his truck.
Right. But the strange thing here is Chris begged Nicole to not call the police. Nicole said, "Fuck that, fuck you, I'm calling the police, we're getting them here, we're going to get this ball rolling if something is fucked up."
And this is the body cam video that you can see when the officer arrives.
And I did, I was going to put the audio in here of the officer arriving. Let's go ahead, because I did chop it up a little bit, so let's put this. This is the body cam from the officer arriving to the house. Nicole's the only one there, and they're waiting for Chris to get home. And I had to cut it up a little bit, so there's a couple parts that are kind of, there's some space in there. But the cop shows up, he starts to go around the house, and then eventually he gets Chris's cell phone number, and he calls Chris, and he asks, "Hey, Chris, where the fuck are you at?"
How you guys doing?
Brother?
What's that?
Do you remember me?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
How you been?
Hi.
You Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. So what's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
Right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. And she was very distraught over the weekend, wasn't eating normally or drinking, and we kept trying to force it on her because she's pregnant. Her husband and her supposedly are separating, but she didn't know this. She thought they were just having issues. He disclosed that to me today.
Okay.
Because I called him and I was like, "Have you talked or heard from Shan'ann since she left for work this morning? Because I can't get a hold of her." I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are by the front door.
She only has one vehicle?
No, they only have the one vehicle in his work truck.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
She
There's
took
not a...
the girls and went on a play date, but they're 4 and 2. She went on a play date. Why wouldn't she take in a car? They're both in car seats. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and she didn't go to the doctor's appointment.
Okay. No answer on the phone. Husband's on his way.
Supposedly, but he said that 30 minutes ago, and I called him again, and he said he was 45 minutes out still. And I know the code is the door.
You do?
I do, but there's a thing on it. There's a... No, it'll even Chris everything.
And the latch up top was locked because the kids get out.
Oh. What about the garage door?
I don't
Is
know.
there...
key code, Sandy, to open the garage from the outside? What is it?
They're trying to get in the garage right here.
His mom's gonna get it.
This is before he gets here, right?
Yeah, he's not there yet.
Yeah.
This is her parents.
Frank, what's the key code of the garage? Danny's house. The cops are there.
Well, I can't go in, but if they allow you to go in, I have to have the property owner's permission to enter.
Something's going on.
Okay. Well, he's the property
So
owner.
police called me. Shannon was at her girlfriend's house.
Do we know who that is?
Do we know who?
Or phone number?
He didn't say.
When did he tell you that?
He needs Mrs. Jackson's money. I don't get it. What did he say?
He told me that Shan'ann didn't take the girls to school this morning because she was...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Okay. Right. What my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her... If she's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. Thanks.
I'm here. Hang on.
Yeah, keep me on the phone.
Okay, get Madison on the phone.
Scott, how you doing? How's it going? So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that,
She would drive?
And that's him showing up.
Yeah, and right here in the video, he goes into the house from the garage. He does not allow anybody else to come in with him, and I believe it takes almost 2 minutes for him to unlock the front door.
Okay.
So that gave him plenty of time to hide anything if he needed to hide.
Right.
It gave him a little bit of time to pick up some things, and he actually got in the car right off the bat. When he walked into the garage, he opened up her passenger side door and got in there and grabbed some. He did something inside there and then shut the door and went inside the house.
Yeah.
So
And it's such a weird transaction when he shows up. He gets out of the truck and he sprints around the front of it. He's parked along the street.
yeah, he parks out in front of the house.
And he sprints around to the passenger side and digs in the passenger seat for something and then sprints up to the cop. Sprints. Comes to like an abrupt stop and just puts his hand out and shakes his hand. He's in like a
Right off the bat, it's the first thing he did.
sheer panic. And then he gets to the cop and he's just like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to shake your hand. And just really weird mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
The car seats were still at the house.
Yeah.
Obviously she would need the car seats if she was going in. The vehicle was still there, but just nothing from the very, very beginning. It's all stinky. It's all fishy, and nothing. It's not looking good for Christopher Watts.
Yeah, the video that I watched, it was someone talking about, it was the entire body cam footage, and it was a guy talking about the way that the police officer would have read Chris Watts' body language and certain indications that he would be giving from his body language and how he was acting at the scene, which made that officer believe that there was more to the story than what was going on.
A good cop will pick up on those right away.
Yeah.
But Chris Watts was really over the top with his tells. He was doing all kinds of stupid shit, just weird shit. But then that day, they go over, after looking through the house, a neighbor invites Chris Watts and a police officer over to his property. He's the one with the Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
And you watch this. They start showing the surveillance of him backing the truck up to the garage at 5 o'clock in the morning. And the body cam footage is I'm not going to play it because Chris is standing there with his head in his hands, not saying a fucking word.
Yeah, and he'll come up and then he'll put his arms behind his head, and there's a point where he hears a noise, or the officer is talking to someone else on his radio. I can't remember if this is that time or if that's when they're upstairs in his house. And he fucking freaks. Like, he looks back behind him like there's other people about to bash through the door.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that he's
waiting to get hooked up.
He knows once he sees that video that shows him backing in and then leaving that,
Yeah, and they didn't arrest him at this point. There was a lot of there was some further investigations that needed to happen. Now, like we said, he tells the police his stories were all over the place, but he says that she was just leaving to go on a play date, and that was kind of his alibi. Not necessarily his alibi, but that's what she was doing and why she was gone. Now, August 15th in the evening, after police discover Chris Watts has a mistress and he fails a lie detector test, the lie, he didn't ask for an attorney during any of this, and he takes the lie detector test, and they're really just, they make it seem like he's in no trouble at all, like they're on his side. There's also a point before the lie detector test where the news companies come to his house, and he does an interview on his front porch talking about Shan'ann being missing and where she's at. At this point, if you don't know about the story, he's murdered his wife. He's murdered his kids. But when he gives the interview on the front porch, they're still missing, and he's still not.
He's just pretty much begging for them to come home.
He's not giving a confession. And I have the interview here that he gives to the news channels while he's a fucking bold-faced murderer and trying to lie to the world.
So you can give me your first and last name.
Chris Watts, WATTS.
Wow. What's going on right now around your house?
Right now, it's got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now, it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's.
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shan'ann a few times that day, called her, say but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like if she's not getting back to her, like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home. And then walked in the house, and nothing has vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nope, nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shan'ann, SHANANN.
What's your kids?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell it? Celeste.
CELESTE.
How old are your daughters?
Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, what's going on. Like because after I called her and texted her once, it was like maybe she was just busy. Like she had just gotten back. Like everybody's probably calling her from her trip. She just got back from Arizona, and I figured she was just busy. But when her friend showed up, that's what it was like. It registered like, all right, this isn't right.
Do you think she just took off? Do you think?
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she have just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like if they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions about your relationship with your kids.
Yeah, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life. And there's like, I mean, last night, like during when they usually eat dinner, it was just like I miss them. Like, I mean, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that or you're not going to get your dessert, you know, and just like you're not going to get your snack after. I miss that. Like I miss them, you know, cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, you know, Bubble Guppies or something. And it was just like, you know, it was tearing me apart last night, and I needed that. I needed that last night, and for nobody to be here last night and to go into their rooms and know that I wasn't going to turn the rain machines on, and I know that I wasn't going to turn their monitor on, and know I wasn't going to kiss them to bed tonight. It was that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
Where was she gone for? She was on. She came back Sunday. You said at 2 at night.
Yeah, because her flight got delayed from Arizona because of like other storms around the nation. So she's supposed to get home at like 11. She got home at like 1:48. She got in bed about 2.
What was she going for? Like family trip or? Like?
It was a Thrive direct sales. It was a local event that was down there between a bunch of leaders in the company.
And that day she was back. I mean,
I left work early that morning, like 5:15, 5:30. So like she barely got into bed pretty much.
And you know, this might be a tough question, but did you guys get into an argument before she left?
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like somebody has to come forward.
You spoken to her family, like her parents?
Yeah, they've been in constant contact, like every hour. I mean, everybody back in North Carolina and the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to Florida.
What is her parents saying to you? Like,
they're just like if they need to get on a flight, just let them know. Because I mean, they feel helpless right now because they're on the opposite side of the country. I mean, Colorado is. I mean, you can't just drive around and look. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't really know what you're looking for. That's what the cops pretty much told me. That first day, I was like, I want to get out and drive around. They said, you wouldn't know what to look for.
Last couple questions. What is law enforcement? What have the police or the sheriffs or your neighbors? Is anybody? What's police saying to you?
Right now, this is what they're doing right now is with the canines in the sense. I think this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing they've done so far because yesterday Frederick Police Department did all the searching of the house and tried to gather whatever information they could. And with the detectives, officers, and sergeants, and today it's, I mean, obviously with all the activity that's around, there's a lot going on around here, and I really hope that all of this can lead to something positive.
What did your neighbors? Did they see anything? Did your neighbors see anything?
No, like the police department went door to door asking, like cameras and everything, just like nothing.
And my last question, if you have any of them, feel free to step in. My last question is, if your wife can see this, if she can watch this, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shan'ann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody.
So it makes my fucking skin crawl that this piece of shit took his wife's life, killed her. At this point, he's on August 15th, after he fails the lie detector test, he admits to the police that he strangled his wife and buried her in a shallow grave at an oil site. But he refused to take responsibility for the death of his daughters. As a father of 2 little girls, 3 little girls. He had 2 girls. I have 3. I have 1 more, so I know more. The fact that you can commit the fucking devious act of taking a child's life with your bare hands. He smothered them to death, choked his wife to death, killed her, smothered the children. this motherfucker's still alive right now in a prison system. He's in a prison somewhere, not Colorado. But I hope that there's people in that fucking correctional institution where he's at that are making his life completely miserable, because for all the things that, you know, a wife and a husband can do to one another, I know that's the person you're closest with. You know, it doesn't get any closer. So there's a lot of emotion there.
Yeah, it's wild that, you know, it could you would go to that extreme pretty much just to be with somebody else, which pretty much is all really it boils down to.
And how do you get to the point with the other person when she says, "Where's your wife?" That would raise so many questions.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But shortly after the murder, this mistress starts Googling. One of the Google phrases she looked up was, "Do people hate Amber Frey?" Amber Frey. You'll remember that Amber is from the Scott Peterson trial. She was the mistress of Scott Peterson when Scott killed Lacey Peterson. She also did Google searches on how much Lacey Peterson got paid for her book deals, so she was very concerned about making money off all this. I'm going to play some of her interview here in a little bit. This fucking is a narcissistic, deceitful. I think she encouraged him to do what he did.
And going back, I don't remember if that we didn't re-listen to that the confession portion. I don't remember if he talked about it in this or not.
I didn't play the confession.
Oh, okay. About how because we already said that he buried her out in the oil fields, about how he made sure that he was going to be the only one there that day. Wasn't it that at the job site, they pretty much asked if something could be done there, and he was like, "I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So he made sure with coworkers that nobody else was going to be there. So he had already planned
in all
what he's going to do.
In all likelihood, a lot of people in it. So his defense was his wife killed the children.
Yeah.
And to get back at his wife, he killed his wife.
Yeah.
Inevitably, that's not what happened in the end. He killed everyone. And the thought process is that whenever the Shan'ann arrived home from Arizona, the kids were already dead. He'd already killed the kids at that point. And what fucking transpired during that, whether she walked in and then he just whacked her, or if he, you know, I don't know, man.
That's one of the things that the investigators threw out whenever they were doing the interrogation, is that they were initially the ones that said, did Shan'ann do something to the girls and you had to do something, you felt like you had to do something in return? They originally brought that up.
They planted that seed.
They planted that so he would start talking.
Right.
And so he would get, you know, because he was straight up, you know, they were fine, nothing happened. And then, you know, you get your story to change a little bit, then maybe the truth will eventually come out.
And I'll play the confession real quick. This is fucking horrible audio. Horrible audio. But what's happening in the confession here? He's in the police interrogation room. The police leave. His dad comes in and sits down with him.
Yeah.
His dad starts giving the fucking gayest father-son back rub I've ever seen in my entire life. So, Ronnie, if you're listening, you're a fucking creeper. I think his name was Ronnie.
I don't remember.
But you don't rub your son's back like that. And like I said, this audio is pretty fucking treacherous. They were really far away from the microphone, so we'll do our best to make sure you guys can hear it. But
yeah, it was like a room with cement walls, so that shit's bouncing.
His dad's sitting at the table with him. The police are out of there, and finally Chris just breaks and says, "You know, I killed her. She hopped on the kids. They turned. I saw it on. I think he said he saw it on the baby monitor, and he got there and they were already gone. So he killed her."
Look at these chilling interrogation tapes of Chris Watts, the Colorado man who confessed to killing his family in cold blood. Authorities are now giving us an inside look at the investigation just days after Watts was sentenced to life in prison. And here are the details.
That's right, George, and everyone. The tapes revealed just about every key step in this investigation that led to Chris Watts' arrest. But among the most compelling, the recordings of what he said during that police interrogation. For the first time, we are hearing Chris Watts confess to murdering his wife.
I just felt such anger that
Nothing. I didn't feel anything.
The father of two, seen here with his father in a police interrogation room, blaming the death of the couple's two daughters on his wife, Shan'ann Watts.
Lost it and choke her. That's rage.
A lie he repeated to investigators.
The babies are gone. And I put my hands around my wife's neck and did that same thing.
Did Shan'ann fight back at all?
He would later plead guilty to all three murders. Overnight, the Colorado DA's office releasing dozens of videos from the investigation. The Watts home being searched by police and canines. Surveillance video showing Watts loading items into his truck in the morning after the murder. Later, he's seen showing investigators where to find his family's bodies.
Okay, can you work it for me? I think it's the paper. Can we, is that S for Shan'ann? Okay, and where are the girls at?
Mm-hmm.
In me? Mm-hmm. So which one is, do you know which one?
And drone video of the oil field where the bodies were found. His wife wrapped in sheets from their bed.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them? I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Prosecutors say he was having an affair with a coworker and wanted a, quote, fresh start.
She almost let me told her or confirm with I didn't tell her how long, she just knew.
In newly released text messages, Shan'ann, who was pregnant with the couple's third child, confronting her husband over their troubled marriage. While you were working and living the bachelor life, I'm carrying our third and fighting with our two kids daily. That coworker, Nicole Kessinger, telling police she had no idea he was still married.
He lied to me because if I'd have known that he had a child on the way, I'd have never wasted my time with him in the first place.
Prosecutors releasing these photos of Watts and Kessinger on romantic trips together and say she was searching for wedding dresses in the days before the murders. After Watts confessed, investigators say she was searching how much money Amber Fry received for her book detailing her relationship with Scott Peterson before he murdered his pregnant wife Lacey in 2002.
I'm still in shock that this whole thing happened. That's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt for the first day, because I was just like, no way. Like, I didn't even think about that. I mean, murder was not on the top of my mind when somebody doesn't come home for an evening.
Now, a judge sentenced Chris Watts last week to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. But perhaps the most chilling part of the story is that everyone who knew Chris never saw this coming.
Yes. Wow.
Never saw any signs of violence.
And just so matter of fact in that room. Yeah.
So chilling. All right, thanks, Amy.
So there's his confession, him fessing up to killing everyone. Eventually, part of his plea deal, he switches his story and says that he killed the kids as well. Yes, he got a fucking plea deal. On August 15th at 11:30 p.m., Chris Watts is arrested on suspicion of 3 first-degree murder charges and 3 charges of tampering with a deceased human body. August 16th in the afternoon, Shan'ann Watts' body is found in a shallow grave near the oil site. The bodies of the girls were found in 2 oil tanks.
That kills me. It's
completely unfucking speakable that
he had to climb to the top of these oil tanks, open up the top lid, and just throw them.
Right.
And these oil tanks aren't small.
And the part that stabbed me in the gut the hardest, man, is that during the police interrogation they say, "Are you sure they were dead when you put them in those oil tanks?" And Chris is like, "Oh yeah, yes." Like, of course they were fucking dead. Why would I torture them you fucking killed them, you piece of fucking dick cheese. Like, it doesn't make it any better that they were already dead when you put them in the oil. Like, you couldn't disrespect them anymore than, making sure they weren't dead when you put them in the fucking oil tanks.
Yeah, smothering them by your own hands as opposed to making them drown in oil.
Fuck
There's
him,
not,
man.
yeah.
I hope he's getting his tonsils pushed down in the fucking pit of his stomach right now by the biggest, angriest purple fucking cock in the fucking prison. I mean that with all my heart and passion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Now, on November 6th, Chris Watts pleads guilty to all 9 counts against him in order to evade the death penalty. And pleading guilty to 5 counts of first-degree murder, Chris Watts changed his initial story that his wife killed their daughters and admitted to killing them himself. 2 additional murder charges were added because the children were under the age of 12. He also pleaded guilty to 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body and 1 count of unlawful termination of a pregnancy. November 19th, Chris Watts is sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Chris arrived... I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a couple things that I did want to touch on. The day of the murders, he called the kids' school, Primrose, and said they're not coming back.
They're not going to be. Yeah,
they're not. No, he didn't say they're not going to be there. He said
he's withdrawing them pretty much.
You're not coming. They're not coming back. Yeah. He also called a realtor that day and said, "Let's sell this motherfucker. I'm moving right now." And just all that. They're.
He was planning on getting the hell out.
Yeah. So that we do have an interview with the mistress, one Nicole Kessinger. I chopped up this interview a little bit. This is her, and this is when she sat down with the police. What's crazy for me is her dad sat down with her for the police interrogation. You'll hear her dad speak up halfway through the interview, and I don't know what her dad is or what he does, but he tells the fucking detective, like, you need to take a fucking step back and slow down. And the detective's like, okay, all right, well, sorry. But he's got this authoritative voice where he just takes control of the situation, her dad. And this entire interview, her voice sounds like a fucking nail getting jammed up my dick hole. That's the sound I would make, is what her voice sounds like. She sounds like an evil, conniving shit cunt that she tries to make it seem like, oh, I had no idea. But there's one part in the interview where she says, I wouldn't do that. And then she says, I didn't know. And it's the fucking fakest thing I've ever heard in my entire life when she says that, I didn't know. So you listen for that part, but I'll drop the interview with Nicole Kessinger in.
So if I ask about conversation, what I'm looking for, was he talking about his family during any of these meetings? Those are the kind of, I understand, whatever you guys were talking about, relationship, your life, your interests, those things, we don't need to know that. What I'm interested in is knowing is when he brings up his children, when he brings up his wife, when he brings up financial information, when he brings up his home, when he brings up anything that may have been, and it's been a few days, so you've had a chance to reflect on some articles that you may have read, and you know, unfortunately, that you're in a situation where somebody has been murdered. And that information, when you look backwards in your memory with the conversations with Chris, anything that he might have said that would be relative to that, and I'm not just, even if one day he was mad and he said, I want to do this or do that, anything like that, if he ever made any kind of statements that you were like, whoa, that was weird, or why would he say that, or why did he mention that? Do you understand what I'm
No,
looking
I
for?
completely understand. I just feel like some of this happened so long ago that I can't tell you like the exact words of the exact conversation at the exact time and place, because it's like we had a lot of conversations. I mean, we talked every single day. So it's like I'm trying to help you guys with the stuff, like the stuff that's more current. I can give you guys a lot more like detail and exact times. But when you're asking me about something that happened 6 weeks ago and exactly what was said, it's like, I mean, I'm sure I can give you a general idea, but to be honest with you, like to pinpoint exact words, it's not going to happen.
I'm not looking for exact.
The truth.
So do you think if he found out that you, if let's say this week you guys were to go look at some apartments, and this is hypothetical, but you've never found out that his wife was pregnant. Would that have changed anything? Like you just said, if I knew his wife was pregnant, I wouldn't be in this picture. So if his wife was not pregnant, and forgive me, but if he takes her out of the picture, you're never going to know that she was pregnant, right?
What do you mean takes her out of the picture? Like,
if he murdered her, she's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. Do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
but this
don't lead.
Hypothetically,
please. Don't lead on.
Hypothetically, if she, you understand where I'm going. If
right,
you
but
didn't know,
you're leading into questions that are nothing with your.
If you didn't know, though.
Wait, Nick.
That she was there.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you. I just want her to answer a question that relates to. She said something that's important. That if he didn't have a child on the way, or if she didn't know that, she would have continued the relationship, right?
But he killed his kids. At what point does he think that I'm going to be in a relationship?
I'm not talking about the children. I'm just talking specifically about her. If you only knew, if the kids were still here, and he called you and said, "I'm divorced from my wife," and he gets away with this. Do you understand what I'm thinking from his aspect?
I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it because I'd be like, where did she go?
Okay.
Because I'm under the impression that she's a really good mom. Like, he never bashed her momming skills. Like, no, I wouldn't, no.
Okay.
No.
And you see where I'm trying to take that?
Yes.
So, you guys never had a conversation about the child, period.
I didn't know at all.
Right. And by your words, if you did know, you would have ended the relationship.
Well, because it wouldn't have made sense to me that he's like, I'm getting separated. Oh, by the way, I have a baby on the way. It's like, you are a liar. You're just trying to sleep with me. That's what I would have probably interpreted that as, and I'd have just shut that off at work, and that would have been the end of it.
Okay. All right. We can move past that.
Affect me long term. It's like, I'm going to wake up every day and know that, like, this mom and her unborn child and these two little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is so, oh my God.
Fucking fake, man.
And then I have to think about, like, the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like, all of her family's impacted. My name is about to be, like, slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, and people aren't going to understand that. They're going to say, oh, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back, and it's just like, I didn't know.
Oh,
like,
God.
I
fucking fake.
He's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed
You're
of
disgusting,
him and
bitch.
everything, and I just, those little girls.
That seemed a little fake, that
There's-
part there, too.
There's a pause in my recording right here, but she's so condescending through the entire conversation to me. She's absolutely condescending.
Yeah.
And it seems like she's making a mockery of the situation. And there's some more details in just a second, but here's the rest of her interview.
6 or 7.
Do you know what he did Sunday during the day?
I don't even know what I did on Sunday during the day. I am so tired. Let me just think about this. Daniel came over Friday. I hung out with him Saturday.
All of a sudden,
And then
she
Sunday-
fucking forgets everything.
When did Jim come in?
Monday.
Who the fuck is Jim?
Jim got here Monday. What did I do on Sunday? I am like drawing a blank. I'm really tired. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that?
Yeah, get
Did
fucking
you guys have
back
any
to me.
conversations on Saturday night during your meal, what he might be doing on Sunday?
I'm sure we did. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh
yes.
your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Do you know whose house he was going to?
Nope. But I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did.
Okay.
He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. He's like, some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but
We
I
went
always
to
do.
the museum on what day? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
That's right. So that's what I was like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very memorable event, huh?
Me
was,
and him and my stepmother and my
and-
sister
yeah.
went to the museum.
fucking dead
and that's
kids.
Right.
And
The
a
Denver
dead
Museum
wife.
of Nature and Science.
And they're talking
And
about
they
a
went to
fucking
brunch
museum
prior
and
to that,
brunch.
and I skipped brunch.
You're fucking real, man.
And I went to the gym.
You shouldn't have. It was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
Jesus.
That's
so
what we
I
did Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then...
Don't you just fucking hate her? Do
but
you not fucking hate her?
anyways, I didn't know, like, who she was, and so, like, I started asking him. I was like, well, where do you think your wife is at? And he's like, I think she'll be back tonight. Like, I think she's, like, out with somebody.
This is after she's already dead.
And he was telling me that they had a disagreement, so I was like, well, I remember telling him, I was like, you should make sure that you have wait a minute. No. So all that happened, and then it starts getting kind of laid out. And I remember we talked for text for a while, and part of this conversation, and then it moved to the phone. And I remember telling him, because he was like, I think she'll just be back tomorrow. I think she's just going to be gone for the night, like, with a friend, you know? And
Did
like,
he name the friend?
no, he didn't. And, like, because I don't think, he made it sound like he didn't know, like, what friend's house she would be at. And I remember talking to him, and I was like, well, maybe it's that Nikki girl. And he's like, well, Nikki called the cops, so why would she be at Nikki's house? I'm like, I don't know, kind of throws her off the trail of where she's at, you know? And it's like, it sounds kind of weird, but it's like, he really made this sound like this woman was just, like, upset, left the house, and that was probably what he thought happened to her. And so I didn't really put too much, like...
Did he tell you the kids were missing as well?
Yes, I knew. Okay. I mean, which made sense to me, because I was like, well, if you were at work all day... I mean, he didn't tell me he got home early. He didn't say that to me. So, I mean, it made sense. Like, if she's going to leave, they should probably go with her. And so, I don't know. I feel like I wish I should have, like, processed all of this earlier, but I just don't feel like when one of my friends is gone, I'm like, oh my God.
Just hate her fucking guts, man.
Yeah, she's stupid.
She's really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And the thing is, some say it's a typo, but in the official police documents, September of 2017, a whole entire year before this affair happened, she had Google searches looking for Shan'ann Watts, looking up who she was. Also, when the police said, can we check out your phone? She said, yeah, you can check out my phone. She wiped the motherfucker, took off all the text messages, all the browsing history, everything gone.
Just pretty much reset it.
Why would you need to do that if you're not hiding anything? She wasn't charged with anything, and she wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't about, charging her with something. It was just...
But did you hear how nonchalant she was about everything? I didn't know. You did fucking know, you stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah, she may not have known that he was going to kill them, but still, I mean...
And then her dad's like, oh, hold on a second. You don't ask questions of my daughter like that. Stay away. I had brunch. Yeah, shouldn't have skipped it. It was delicious. I know you went to the gym, but... Yeah, see our grandpa's dick nuts? I hate her fucking dad. I hate her. I hope Chris Watts dies in fucking prison. He was in the Colorado correctional system. He was too high profile.
Yeah.
So part of the interstate correctional compact, whatever. He got transferred to Wisconsin, so he's in the Wisconsin not Noble. It's their main intake for Wisconsin. But Rob and I are gonna write him a fucking letter in perfect crayon letting him know.
I'm gonna put it in my butt first.
I'm gonna put it in there for you.
I'm gonna leave a big old poop stain on the back of it.
Oh man, this is a tough one to listen to. This is a tough one to research. But he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. Nothing will bring back those beautiful little babies. And
So sad.
Sweet Shan'ann. I feel like she was a tortured soul for whatever reason. I feel like she had a lot of conflict in her heart.
Mm-hmm.
She meant the absolute best for her kids, and I think she meant the best for Chris while they were married. But I think she was dealing with an illness that had her down. The lupus and the fibromyalgia. I think she was being tortured by this stuff, and it was hard for her to.
And not having anybody there pretty much for you to support you.
Right.
That's going to be rough too.
It eats you up, man. I take good solace in the fact that these beautiful little girls were laid to rest, and their fucking first names were the only things that made it on their headstones. They did not put Watts on their headstones, and that gives me a little bit of satisfaction to know that even though that was their name, they had nothing to do with that monster when they were put to rest, man.
Fuck that dude.
Fuck him.
Fuck that dude.
We usually don't wish death on anyone. We hope he dies.
Horribly.
I hope there's that one guy that died getting fucked by a horse. That's how I want Chris Watts to die.
Mr. Hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know it.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Okay.
That video has been around. Been around for a while.
Yeah. So that's our deep dive into a hot true crime topic. Not a lot of people have touched on it. We got a lot of audio stuff in here for you. 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Hot damn.
That's a long one. I told Rob it's going to be long. You're like, I'm fine, dude. There's beers outside the window in the snow. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.
I think we're due for another Patreon-sponsored episode next week with Mr. Justin Rockwell. So we're going to be talking to him, seeing what he wants to do.
Cool.
So
sounds good.
See you guys next week.
Yeah. Find us on the interwebs. We're there. Everywhere.
Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. That helps us out tremendously.
That'd
if
be
you'd
great.
like to sponsor your own episode, get a shout out. Hit us up, patreon.com/Brahio Podcast. If you would like to try some Blue Chew, go to bluechew.com. Use the promo code Brahio for your free Blue Chew. Let us know how hard it makes your wiener.
Yeah. First person that sends us a boner pic because of that gets a handshake.
First
hand job.
person that sends us a video of them swallowing a Blue Chew and showing us their boner in the same video gets a free Brahio shirt.
Okay, there you go. You heard it.
So Rob runs a Snapchat at Brahio Podcast. We have an Instagram at Brahio Podcast, Twitter at Brahio Podcast. Gotta be a Blue Chew though. Can't be no Viagra, no Cialis.
Yeah. We have to see that's what it is.
Gotta be a motherfucking Blue Chew.
We'll hook you up.
I love you.
Love you guys.